Okay, so this is an ATM machine program. I'm going to present it. My name is Emmanuel Okello. So first, what I've done is I've created a couple of functions. The first one is the display menu function. This one will display the menu options to the user, as you can see, with the options to log in, create new account, and to quit. Uh, this will be displayed by the cout object. Then the next function I have is the display transaction menu. This one will display the transaction menu, for example, options to deposit, withdraw, request balance, and to quit the program for all users who have successfully logged into the ATM machine. And then this function here, which I've created, which is called create account, will be for users who have failed to log in and wish to create new accounts to log into the machine. So the program will initially uh, display to them, asking them to enter a user ID when they're creating a new account. And then with help of the cin object, the user ID will be stored into the stored user ID variable. And then it will display again another message using the cout object, requesting them to enter their password. And then the cin object will store it into the stored user password variable. Then the next function is the login function. That one it will handle. It will be used to handle. For it, the way it will work is first I've declared the user ID, then second the password as integers, and then the cout will display a message requesting the user to enter the ID, and then the entered ID will be stored into the user ID. So basically, this login function handles the login credential that the user will be supplying. And here it checks if the user ID supplied by the user is equal to the one that is stored into the ATM machine program, and the password supplied by the user is equal to the password stored in the ATM machine program. In case this condition is true, and then it will return true. Otherwise, if the user ID supplied by the user or the if the user ID supplied by the user or the password is not matching, and then the login will be failed. Next, I have a function called handle transactions. So this function basically will be handling user choices. For example, I've declared a character here, which is user entered choice. So this user entered choice, I've equated it to a display transaction menu. So when the program runs and reaches the user entered choice, it will call the display transaction menu, and then what the user enters into the prompt, for example, login. For example, let me say this display transaction, for example, deposit for all successful users. If a user enters deposit, it will check, and then with the help of the cin object, request them to enter their deposit, as we shall see in the illustration. As we etc with others, withdraw, you follow the same procedure. In case the person entered R, then it will handle the results for requesting for the balances. Okay, so the int main function, this is what will trigger the entire operation of the program to run, as we are going to see in the illustration. Let me run it so that we can see the result of this program code here. I've just minimized it so that the code can be organized. Let me run it now so that we can see what I'm trying to talk about. I'll increase to pull this up a bit. So when the program first runs, as explained in code up here, the int main here, when the program runs, it will set a string. I made it to set a string variable called menu option. This menu option will trigger a display menu to pop up, as you see here. So the display menu will pop up and request. If you look here, its contents here and the display menu, it will pop up and request the user for a choice. That's why you see this prompt here. For example, let me say I want to log in, and then I try a 1 2, then 2024. It will return login failed. So the reason why it returns login failed is because I do not exist yet in the system, but it also gives me an option to create an account. So I'll opt for option C. So when I enter C, I can be able to create my preferred user account, for example, that, and then 2024. And then since I've already created the account successfully, as you can see here, I can opt for option L now to log in with my created user credentials. 1 2, enter. 2024, enter. So you see this, my access will be granted. So meaning I can run these transactions here. Deposit, let me say I want to deposit $200. Let me say I want to withdraw about $100. I expect, if I withdraw $100, I expect the balance to remain 100. So let me say I want to request balance. You see my balance is exactly as I expected. Then I can say I want to quit the program while entering option Q. So when I press option Q, it quits out. I can decide to press option Q again, and then it quits. I think you can see by this proof now exiting the program. Yeah, so basically that's the operation of this ATM machine program, and I've created it using functions, as you can see here. So the rest of the screenshots and the code will be uploaded to my GitHub channel, and this video you'll find it on my YouTube account for further reference. Thank you.